class activity 1 gives us equations. It asks us to find the value of b squared minus 4ac, the roots, and state whether there are two real and distinct roots, two real and equal roots, or no real roots at all. So there's multiple methods that we can take to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do A for us, just so that we kind of understand what we're doing. So if we have, x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals 0. Well, so we start, and the first thing we're going to do is the value of b squared minus 4ac. Well, b is here, a is here, it's kind of an invisible 1, and then our plus 3 is our c. So b squared minus 4ac is going to equal 4 squared. Now, be careful that in case b is negative ever, we want to make sure we square whatever that number is. It's going to end up, b squared will be a positive number, always. So we got 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 3. Now this should be 16 minus 4 times 1 times 3 would make 12, or overall we have our answer of 4. So b squared minus 4ac makes a value of 4. Well, what are the roots for our equation? Now, remember, we had all those different methods that we learned before. So we've got the factoring method, we have the quadratic formula, we have completing the square, and we have the graphical method. Whichever one you'd like to choose is fine with me. The graphical method makes it hard to determine the roots exactly. Sometimes you'll kind of get like little decimal approximations. Factoring or the quadratic formula is usually your best bet. So, but if you could also do the graphical one to figure out how many roots there are, that would be fine. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do the factoring method. So, my factoring method, I'm going to go back up here to the top because I have no room whatsoever. The factoring method, so I know that I'm going to have two binomials based on the fact that there are 3 terms here. I know that I'm going to have 2 binomials there. And so if I start off with x and x, I need 2 numbers that are going to multiply to make 3 that will add to make 4. And so that should be a positive 1 and a positive 3. So that's the factors. Now, because those are factors, I know that either x plus 1 makes 0 or x plus 3 makes 0. So I can find my roots to be either negative 1 or negative 3. So I have the roots being negative 1 and negative 3. And these would be 2 real roots. And excuse me, they are, more than that, distinct. Because they are different. I'm sorry, I'm running out of room. So they are 2 real numbers, right? They're not i's or anything like that. So we see, we can find our discriminant, or the b squared minus 4ac. We can determine the roots separate of that, or we can also state whether they're, what kind of roots they are. Now, if you want to go ahead and do the quadratic formula, since you've already found the discriminant, by all means, please do that. That might actually be better. I in fact like to factor. Then when you go on to question 2, it's asking you to see if you can find a pattern. So do your best, go through this, find a pattern, practice the methods that you prefer, and see what you can find.